watch you guys make the same mistake. And it's not because you're bad men, it's because you're good men who are making bad investments. See, we live in a world where people will spend hours researching trucks, houses, a new TV, and then they'll hand their heart to somebody after 3 good conversations and a couple of attractive pictures. That's backwards. Nephews, tonight is not about blaming women because women aren't the problem. The problem is too many men are rewarding low information with high investment. You don't know her favorite book. You don't know how she handles conflict. You don't know what this woman is like when she's disappointed. You don't know how she treats people when no one else is watching. But somehow you've already started planning a future in your head. Nephews, that's not love. That's imagination. Information earns investment, not attraction, not chemistry. Nephews, not potential. I'm talking information. Every profile you look at, every match you get, every conversation that you have, you're not looking for reasons to keep somebody. You're looking for evidence of consistency, evidence of character, evidence of emotional maturity, evidence that their actions match their words. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. Bottom line, their actions. Because attraction, nephews, it gets your attention, but the information should determine your level of investment. Now, one of the biggest lies men tell themselves is, I'll figure it out as I go. No, nephew, you'll feel it out as you go. And if your emotions get out ahead of your judgment, you'll spend months trying to convince yourself a fantasy was a relationship. That's why we vet, right? That's why we slow things down. That's why we observe patterns instead of chasing feelings, because we're not here to teach you guys how to get women. Okay, we're here to teach men how to make better decisions. And women are just a perk of the job. The job is becoming a man whose judgment is stronger than his emotions, whose standards are stronger than his loneliness, and whose discipline keeps him grounded in reality. That's the conqueror's code. All right, now let's get to work, nephews. Our phone lines are open. Call in. Drop your questions in the chat. Email Johnny if you have some questions that you want to get featured on next week's Ask Your Favorite Uncles. Nephew, send us smoke signals. Tap out Morse code if you have to. And if you're watching the replay, put SOS in the comments and we'll send a search party. Because every time you show up, you're taking another step towards becoming the greatest man your bloodline has ever seen. Now let's swipe smarter tonight, gentlemen. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself for our audience.
Well, first of all, live chat. Our boy Major Blaze is back with us yet again, second time this week. Brother, it's always good to see you, man. I love the strides you're making, and it's always great to see you in our live chat, man. Good to have you with us. I'm Johnny Dumbbell. I'm your personal trainer and life coach that offers you everything that has to do with results and not a damn thing that has to do with BS. All right, so I'm not here, like Uncle Bill said, to teach you how to get women. I'm not an expert at that. Uncle Bill, he's not an expert at that. What we are experts at is screwing up and telling you how not to do the same thing, because we are your favorite uncles, because the entire family has stories about our exploits. And those stories are funny, and they're stories we're not particularly proud of, but what we are proud of is the men that we became as a result of the consequences of the events of those stories. I guess the quickest way to say it is listen to us, but not because it's funny, but because we screwed up so that hopefully you don't have to. All ears, fellas, let's go. So Major Blaze says the singles event now won't open up direct messaging for another 3 to 5 days instead of 2 more. Yeah, man. I got to tell you, that seems so sketch to me. The singles events, I've seen a few of those here in the Pittsburgh area, and most of them run a distant second to a 6-pack and a video game night. So, I mean, I totally get it. I think a lot of the time there's some sort of way they're getting money out of you, or at least trying to garner interest. And most things are internet based anymore, so there's probably some sort of an algorithm. I don't really know a whole lot about these events, but I like the fact that you're thinking a little bit outside the box, and most importantly, I love that you're thinking outside the app. But tonight, we're going to show you a little bit about what the information in the app that the ladies do put forward. Uncle Bill, we're going to see quite a few of those tonight, aren't we?
We are. Let's start with our first one tonight, Johnny. First up, we got Whitney. All right, nephews, before we get started, let me explain this just a little bit to you. I got to bounce back and forth between Bumble and our show here because before I can share the profile, I got to make sure that there's nothing in it that I can't share. So we're talking community guidelines, and I'm going to preview each profile before we put it up on the screen for y'all. So first up, we got Whitney, 43. We got a bio here, Johnny. And I appreciate that. Let me read through this.
And if her wit is as sharp as her eyebrow pencil, we're in for a treat. Let's see it.
Okay. She says, an amazing, energetic, positive, and independent woman. Looking for a partner to enjoy life with. Life is too short. Forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly, never regret anything that made you smile.
Bless that bitch.
So live in the moment, and if things get screwed up, be quick to forgive. All right.
Drink socially.
I mean, I'm just saying that could be a preempt to something, or maybe not.
Works out sometimes.
Works out sometimes. So it's not a lifestyle for her, it's an activity. And what that sounds to me like, gentlemen, is it sounds to me like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it makes her a bad person. I'm saying that she chooses motivation over discipline, if that's the case.
Okay, she says, we got a prompt here, Johnny. It says, the quickest way to my heart is coffee and food.
Well, I mean, that's pretty standard. I know we're all supposed to think that's cute. Oh, she likes to eat and drink coffee. I mean, at least she didn't put nothing.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, nephews, my first impression is this is a woman who's clearly trying. And that's already different than a lot of the empty bios we're going to see tonight. A lot of the profiles that just have pictures uploaded from their camera roll. Now,
I mean, she's making an effort.
Well, she's given us something to work with. Now, is it enough? Let's find out, shall we? We got some pictures. So really, I mean, she does give us a bio here. She tells us a few solid things in it. She's looking for a partner.
Wait, did I see a little boob ink there?
What's that?
Did I see a little boob ink on there? I thought I saw a little tattoo on the inner cleavage there. I didn't catch it.
Yep. So at any rate,
cleavage art. Okay.
She's communicating that she wants a relationship. At least that's her intent instead of leaving us guessing. Okay. That's information, nephews.
And remember, in her early 40s, she's probably finally ready to settle down, but just understand what that may or may not implicate.
Describing herself as amazing, energetic, positive, independent. Now, these are all self-descriptions. They're not any kind of evidence, but she's at least telling us how she sees herself. All right. And
that is useful information, even if it's not necessarily accurate. It is useful.
Then she says something here, life is too short, and follows it with the forgive quickly, kiss slowly, love truly.
Yeah.
You know what that tells me, Johnny? That gives me a little indication that this woman's romantic. She might even be a hopeless romantic. Okay, so she's going to value experiences. She's going to, at least this woman here, she appears to value, I would say, optimism over resentment. Never regret anything that made you smile. And again, not facts, but this is all information. And okay, now the quickest way to my heart is coffee and food. Is that a company line, Johnny?
I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily a company line, because I do think that a lot of these young ladies put posts up there or put profiles up there without like taking a second to say what makes me stand out. Now, Major Blaze makes a good point. She's got the looks, but kind of mixed this to everything else. If we did not have pictures in this profile, first of all, you and I would probably swipe left anyway, but let's just say we did this. I got to tell you, what I see is she likes coffee and food. Company line, even if it's not, that's a pretty common, a pretty common like that most people have. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything overly unique about this young lady. She's got a cute smile. At 43, she's finally ready to settle down. Is this the woman who's been ran through for the last 25 years and is finally ready to find that life partner that she thought she could just kind of put off until she was like lonely? Or, I mean, she doesn't look like she would be desperate. She's obviously an attractive girl. And I mean, she's probably got an inbox full of guys, because even the low effort ladies who look halfway decent are going to have an inbox full of guys. This is a situation where if you're trying to get at her, you're going to have to be unique in the face of her maybe not being that standoutish, I guess, if that's a word.
Okay, so what I like about this is I think it's simple, and for me it means easy to engage. All right, she's given us an easy on ramp to start the conversation. Now, I got to tell you, here's where I will pump my brakes, nephews. This bio, let me get back to it, is heavy on inspiration. Okay, but it's real light on specifics. You understand what I'm saying? I can tell she's a positive woman. I know she likes coffee. She wants a partner. And Johnny, I don't like that language, but we're not going to. Let's just skip over that right now.
No, I mean, look, that's basic 101. We that's lesser advanced class, yeah.
But here's the thing: I still don't know what she does for fun. I don't know what this woman does, how she spends her weekends. I don't know if she has kids. I don't know if she's one of these passport-ready women. I don't know what her values are beyond a few inspirational quotes. So there's still a lot.
And unfortunately, we can't tell whether she's valuable to us. Sure.
Now, red flags so far, I got to say none. And this is important.
Yeah, but
Not
there's no
knowing
flags at all.
isn't a red flag. It's just information you don't have yet. Don't manufacture red flags just because you're trying to sound smart. Yeah. All right. So I don't think we got Mini Mom in the chat tonight.
She might be a little bit late.
If I did, I'd ask her which way I should go on this one. I would tell you, though, nephews, if we match, I got to be honest here. I'm not interested in interviewing this woman. I'm moving things forward. All right, her prompt already opened the door. All right, I'll probably get out of her and say something like coffee and food. I can handle both, but what's your go-to coffee order? Or, just something to engage her with a little bit. It keeps it light. It's moving towards setting a date. Johnny and I will tell you by your third message to her, you should be offering to set up a date. This is because, nephews, you don't want to waste this woman's time. You definitely don't want to waste your time. Your time is actually your most valuable resource, not that wallet.
And by the way, the only conversation that you should have via text is where and when you're meeting in person.
Major Blaze says French vanilla coffee all the way.
Sugar-free, of course.
Now, remember, nephews, the profile starts conversation, but her behavior is what tells the story. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell, bottom liner action. Now, I'm going to say, I think I'm going to swipe right on this one, Johnny, and I'll tell you why. It's because she's given me just enough information to justify a conversation. Not a relationship, nephews, not some emotional investment, a conversation. That's all she's earned at this point. All right. Now, look, let me give you a little bit of game before we move on, nephews. This profile isn't perfect, but it gives me enough to make an informed decision. Now, compare this profile to one with one picture and a prompt that says just ask. So which one has made my job easier? Well, this one. And it's because she's putting a little something on the table, and that's all we're asking for. Remember, we're not rewarding perfection, we're rewarding effort.
That's it.
And she gave me enough information to justify a low-risk investment, nephews. That's a conversation. Now let her behavior determine whether she earns anything else beyond that. And that's how emotionally grounded men date. That's how you stop falling in love with your imagination.
By the way, shout out to Major Blaze. What does he say? Day 17 of keto. He's down 11 pounds. I'll tell you what, Major, if you want to talk offline, I'll give you a couple of extra tips when it comes to dietary stuff. Yeah. If you want, we can talk offline. And I got a couple of really nice tips and really cool shortcuts I can help you out with when it comes to stuff like that, too.
Now, Major, I love keto. It's the staple of my diet. And I do come off it every now and then. But I just feel better when I'm eating keto, when I'm fasting, when I'm always in ketosis. I love that. So shout out to you for taking your health seriously. That's what we want. We want you guys to do better. So managing your diet is also managing your discipline. So I can respect that.
Yep.
All right, John, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna check out our next.
Well, that's cool, Uncle Bill, because while he's doing that, if in the live chat, if you have had a recent experience with online dating, whether it was good, bad, indifferent, funny, peculiar, funny, haha, or downright scary, leave it in the live chat. We'd love to hear your story. And, if we can be of any assistance advice-wise, we can. Or if we just want to kind of roast the douchebag you went out with last, hey, we could do that too.
Okay, Johnny. Next up tonight for the nephews, we got Shilpa.
Aren't those the people that help you get up Mount Everest?
Shilpa she's 42.
Those are Sherpas. Sure.
It says Pittsburgh, PA, never married, healthcare for her bio.
Excuse me, folks. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this one real quick. Yeah, if you live in Pittsburgh, you probably work either in tech or in some form of health and or fitness.
She says, I'm ready for someone who is looking for a companion for life.
Ooh. So send in your credit score, your height and weight. Kidding.
Together, we could make fond memories.
Or fondue. I like that too.
All right, nephews.
Low-fat fondue, of course.
I think it's time for us to take a minute here, and I want to give y'all a little bit of game on low effort profiles.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this, Johnny. Low effort profile is not really a red flag. It's just low information, and there's a difference. See, a lot of you guys go to extremes. She's lazy. She's entitled. She must not be serious. Maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I mean, honestly, I would like to know what branch of healthcare, because we're talking about nurses. We know nurses are nurturing, caring types, but we also know that nurses are a little bit of fun.
Now, if you one of the biggest mistakes
I've heard.
men make is treating assumptions like facts. All right, we don't do that here. We work with information. And here's what we know. A picture or two, a few words in the bio, a prompt to, screams just ask, make fond memories. All right, all that's information that we've been given. So why are you preparing to invest like you've known this woman for 6 months already? Okay, this is backwards. Okay, if she gives us low information, we give low investment. Write that down, please. Get a marker out, write that down.
If you're Gen X, write it on a piece of paper, and then, you're that hybrid, so take a picture of it with your phone, I guess. I don't know.
Low information deserves low investment. Not zero investment, low investment. And there's a difference. What does low investment look like, Unc? Well, I'm glad you asked, chat. One message, not 5. One question, not an interview. One date, not some weekend getaway that has several different locations.
Yeah.
One opportunity to show consistency, not unlimited chances. All right. You're matching her level of information. You're giving the relationship room to earn more. And look, here's where you guys fumble this. All right. Because in some of these profiles, okay, you guys see very beautiful women and they put like 3 to 5 pictures in, and
She looks honest to me. Yeah.
suddenly you guys are double texting novels to these women, sending memes, planning date number 3 before you even had date number 1. All right. That means you're invested emotionally before she's even invested informationally. Nephews, you're rewarding the possibility of who she might be instead of evaluating who she's actually showing herself to be. So if you match with somebody like this, perfect, cool. Now the profile doesn't really matter as much. And I'm going to tell you why. And that's because your conversation, your flow back and forth with the woman, that's where your information is going to come from now. Okay. So you're asking questions like, does she ask questions back? Does this woman seem curious? Does she communicate consistently? Is she making some sort of effort? The profile got her through the front door, but her behavior tells the story. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. Bottom line, her actions. And that's why I tell you the profile starts with the conversation. All right. Her behavior tells the story. Now, look, I want you guys to remember this. Low information, you can have a conversation, but you're watching behavior, you're watching patterns, you're watching for investment, and that's the order. And most of you guys flip it upside down. You start with the investment and hope that the information shows up later.
Yeah.
All right. If she gives you one sentence, nephews, don't give her your heart. If she gives you 3 pictures, you don't owe her 3 months. If she gives you mixed effort, don't give her unwavering commitment.
Yeah, in other words, she's not doing you a favor just by showing up.
Not attraction, not beauty, not hope, information. Remember, nephews, we're not here judging women with low effort profiles. We're judging our own decisions.
Yeah.
She can have whatever she wants in her profile. That's her choice. The question is, why are you investing so much into somebody who's given you so little to evaluate? Because
Major Blaze says she's too damn sweet and cute for me. I think he likes them a little rougher around the edges. And I got to say, I kind of get that, man. Cute smile, but yeah, I'm going to say low effort on this one.
Nephews, we're not here to teach you how to get women. We're here to teach you to make better.
Oh, God, I love those things.
Women are just a perk of the job. I say this all the time. The job is becoming a man who doesn't confuse attraction with information, who doesn't confuse hope with evidence, and never rewards low information with high investment. Johnny, I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah. I'm going to say, make like an unorthodox quarterback and swipe left. Pass left, I meant.
All right, let me check out our next profile, sir. All right, well, okay. She's giving us something to work with, Johnny.
And we can work with just about anything. Well,
we're really here to teach. Shout out to everybody asking questions. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Major Blaze, Pittsburgh Pirates. We appreciate you showing up, gentlemen.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys are enjoying the show, it really, really helps us out if you give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Even if you don't like what we're doing, give us a thumbs down. That's good for our algorithm, too. So we appreciate it either way, man. Let us know you're here, though.
Pittsburgh Pirates said pass on both of these women.
I don't know. I can't see his comments on mine.
All right, hold on a second.
By the way, Forrest, good to have you with us, man.
All right. Here we go, Johnny. We got Ann 41, and she's in finance. About Ann. I'm into collecting mid-century modern / vintage glass and pottery.
Shit.
Music.
First date, East Liverpool, Ohio.
Mainly
You're
EDM.
welcome.
Zed's Dead is my favorite. Animals, hiking, walking, yoga, good food, great coffee. I have a cat and foster cats that I love.
Boy, that's
Love
a lot of food and coffee
too.
lovers we've come across already.
I'm telling you, it is. I want to experience life and new places.
Bless that bitch.
Okay, Johnny, we got.
I feel like that's
here.
a safe way of saying that I think it's a safe way of saying I'm a free spirit, knowing that most of us guys kind of have a connotation when we hear that.
She says, "Send me a."
Kind of looks like a grown-up Billie Eilish.
Spot for the best matcha in St. Pete.
Wait, this chick's in Florida?
Hold on, let's just.
Uncle Bill, you can't go to Florida, man.
Hey, yeah, Johnny, I know we don't need to talk about that right now. Nephews, if you want to know why
it's too hot.
Go to Florida,
it's too hot down there. That's what it is.
And we'll talk about interstate warrants.
There's an alligator down there that's very angry with him.
She says, my simple pleasures are waking up and enjoying great cappuccino with my cat on my lap.
Oh my God, she has a cat like mine. She has a Jesse the Yinzer cat.
She is 14 miles away from me in Austin Town, Johnny.
So she's in town for a little while. So she lives in St. Pete. She's currently in Austin Town for some reason. And hey.
All right. So nephews, if I were to you know what? Let's break down the. You want to break down the profile a little bit, Johnny, or should I get right to teaching them some game?
Well, for those of you who don't know, EDM is Eurodance music. So she's kind of like a big overseas kind of, club beats kind of fan. I like it.
Okay.
So she otherwise outdoors. It looks like she's physically active, at least from the things she's listed. For me, that's right up my alley. I think for Uncle Bill it would be as well.
Right. All right, nephews. If I were to match with her, now I got a real smooth opener that I like to use when I match with women, and it's real simple because, like we were just talking, we don't invest a lot of time, especially with low information. It goes something along the lines of you, period, me, period, a drink, period. Let's make this happen, nephews. It's confident. It's direct. It doesn't try to be clever. It doesn't pretend to be some stand-up comedian, which doesn't work if you're not naturally funny. It gets to the point. All right. The bigger lesson here, it's not always what to say. It's why you're saying it, nephews. And that's where the game is. And let me save you about 6 months of frustration. Your first message isn't supposed to impress her. It's supposed to move the conversation forward. That's it. Too many men think the opening message has to be perfect. It doesn't. It has to create momentum. Okay, nephews, you don't perform. Every guy out here is trying to be the funniest, the most original, the most clever. Meanwhile, as Johnny has reminded us, she's already got 30 guys asking, if you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who told you guys that that's like good questions to ask. And I don't know where that trend began, but I've been hearing a lot of that lately. And it's like, dude, those guys are not the ones that are going to be hitting anything on the first 3 dates.
Okay,
well, the first 3 months.
Compete in the clown Olympics, nephews. Be authentic, be direct.
Take a lesson from our politicians.
Now, what you got to do is you got to give her something easy to respond to. All right. If you're asking questions, which I don't recommend, make it easy. Instead of tell me everything about yourself and your whole life, try something like, what's been the best part of your week? All right. Or like Johnny and I both recommend, skip the interview altogether.
Yeah.
Move toward the meeting. Set the date.
And that's really the only question that you should be asking via text. And honestly, I'd rather you ask that in person if you were able to as well. But this is online dating we're talking about. But when it comes to messaging back and forth, don't ask any questions that you would be better off seeing her body language while answering. I don't care how simple the question seems. If the question isn't, would you prefer coffee or adult beverages? It really doesn't need to be asked, at least not via text. When you meet in person, that's when you have the conversation. That's when you keep an eye on her body language. That's where you see whether she's giving you, is she leaning towards you with that neck exposed, for example, or is she sitting back like this? Because I know if I'm sitting back like this, I probably don't believe any of the shit you're spewing. Now, I don't care whether you're a potential date or if you're selling me something. The fact of the matter is, if I see this, it ain't over, but you're not doing so good. That's one of the things where, and listen, it's not just me. It's not just Uncle Bill. Everybody's face and or body has subtitles if you are literate enough to read them. Simple as that.
Nephews, don't build a relationship through text, through messages, DMs. That's not dating. Texting is for logistics. Its job is actually simple. Confirm there's enough mutual interest to meet. The real information comes face to face. Shout out to Pittsburgh Pirates. He says, body language matters.
Absolutely.
All right.
100%.
Because that's where you see how this woman's going to communicate, how she listens, how she treats people, how she handles awkward moments.
Yep.
All right. And you can't learn that kind of stuff through emojis.
Bruh.
Now, what you got to do in these messages when you're DMing women, you have to match her energy, but you don't mirror it blindly.
Or lack thereof, yeah.
All right. If she's engaged, be engaged. If she's giving you just thoughtful replies, respond thoughtfully. All right. She's giving you one-word answers. Don't compensate by writing paragraphs.
Oh, God. Yeah,
That's you don't lose.
You don't have to use up the word allotment that she decided not to. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, she's giving breadcrumbs while he's baking the whole loaf, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Nephews, one thing I need you to immediately to start doing is don't be afraid to lead. If the conversation is flowing, make a plan. Don't spend 3 weeks becoming pen pals. Confidence, it's not being pushy. Confidence is being clear. I've enjoyed talking with you. Let's grab a coffee this weekend. Simple. Now, here's what messes you guys up. And I know this one hurts, but we're going to talk about DMs, so I need to cover everything with you guys. I can't let you down. Y'all are my nephews. I love y'all. Silence is information. If the woman disappears, don't write 5 follow-up messages. Don't demand closure. Don't ask if you did something wrong. Her response is a response.
Even if there isn't one. Yep.
Or lack of one.
Especially if there isn't one. Yeah.
Is information. Collect it and then move accordingly. All right.
Yeah, just like Forrest here says, the best questions are about our childhood and parents. History repeats itself unless you're smart enough to change it. And I will even take that a step further is when she's telling you those things, again, keep an eye on that body language. Even though that body language, while she's describing this, may or may not have anything to do with you, if you're intuitive enough, that's going to give you an idea of how does she feel when she's saying these things, or is she trying to get something over on you or simply across to you point-wise, whatever it happens to be. Yeah, listen to intonation. Watch her face. See how many times she blinks. Is she looking to the left or the right? Is she leaning towards you? Is she leaning back? Whatever it happens to be, those things are extremely important.
All right, gentlemen. Here's what I tell my own nephews. Okay. Your first message, it shouldn't try to earn that attraction. If she matched with you, there's already enough interest to have a conversation. Now, your job is to determine whether she's somebody worth investing in. What I mean by that, investing more time in. All right, there's
Yeah.
a difference. All right, you're not trying to convince her to like you. You're trying to find out if the two of you are actually compatible, and that's a completely different mindset.
Yeah, trying to convince her to like you is like trying to alter free will. It simply doesn't work that way.
No, and the goal of your first message, it isn't to get the date, it's to reveal information. Because every response, every time she responds, it's going to tell you something. How quickly she replies, whether she has questions back, whether she's engaged, whether she communicates respectfully and reciprocates that effort. Every message is another piece of information. Remember, don't reward low information with high investment.
Yeah.
If she's interested, set the date, make the plan. If she's not, then respect it and move on. Look,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Major on this one. I could see seeking closure if it was a serious relationship or a marriage, maybe. And that's number one. And honestly, I wouldn't even say seeking closure. I would even say it would be nice to have it. But again, even then, like you said, it probably isn't worth, pursuing.
all right. So Pittsburgh's telling me to pass on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so.
I'm in disagreement with you. I think I'm going to swipe on this one.
I mean, if this is if we're looking for recreational fun, sure. If we're looking for something a little more serious, I just don't see it.
Who's looking for something a little more serious?
Well, some of these young men might be. Remember, we are vetting for all the guys that are looking for all the things, and I'm telling them that this is definitely a fun time.
All right, nephews, let me give you some game on why I'm going to swipe on her. There's some stuff in here that I'm into as well. I like hiking, walking, yoga.
Yeah.
You know, I got a thing for animals. I don't have any pets myself, but I love it when women have pets. And just that she's into collecting this mid-century vintage glass. I bet she's talking about that uranium glass. So I got some game on that too. So her and I have some things kind of similar. She rarely drinks. Bro, this is a woman I'm asking to meet me at Mill Creek Park and go forage mushrooms with. Chanterelles are out this time of year, bro. I'll put her on some game on the hike.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say, though, Forrest does make a good point. I mean, most of these girls that we come across, I'd say 7 or 8 out of 10 do enjoy hiking and yoga or whatever it happens to be. Now, she likes that glass part of it. If she's really into the glass thing, Uncle Bill, I'll tell you what, if she makes it to date maybe 3 or 4, I would say bring her out to Pittsburgh to the Heinz History Museum. A lot of people don't realize before Pittsburgh was even a steel town, they were known for glass manufacturing. Little known fact by people outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay, Pittsburgh Pirates, I'm going to push back and challenge you on this a little bit. You're saying let you know that you are right in the end. But I'm here to tell you tonight, women don't treat all men the same. Sure, she might do some crazy out-of-pocket stuff with somebody else, but that's not how she'll conduct herself with me. I won't allow that kind of behavior. Here's what you have to understand, gentlemen. Unc here has a program, and if a woman is not following my program, there's no excuse that's going to save her, bro. She's getting cut from the team. So she'll get the same audition that every single woman gets to meet my standards and you know what I'm saying, be on my program. And if she's with it, she's with it. And if she's not, it's blessings on your journey.
Yeah.
But there's
nothing wrong with holding out till you get what you're looking for.
There's enough in this profile that tells me I might actually enjoy spending an hour with this woman. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe on that. Maybe meet her at the Mocha House. Maybe go to the duck pond with her.
God, I haven't been to the Mocha House in like 15 years.
Right. Oh, bro, I love going to the Mocha House.
I miss that place so bad.
So now, gentlemen, I'm not saying that any of you guys are wrong about her. That
No.
might be some of your experiences with women like this, but I gotta tell you, I have different experiences with women like this. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and swipe on this one.
Bless
Yeah,
that bitch.
Forrest, I'll give you a Pittsburgh Pirates reference. See, I think what we're talking about here is when we're looking for those kinds of things to live up to our standards. It's like when Brian Reynolds gets up there and he's got 2 strikes on him and then 3 balls, full count, right? The pitcher's going to throw all kinds of crap, but it's going to be in the strike zone, and he'll keep fouling him off until he hits something he likes. That's kind of what we're dealing with here.
All right, hold on. Let me find when we can share. Sometimes I click through.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, Forrest. I'm interested to know what kind of degree she has to a certain degree, no pun intended. But at the same time, I really have noticed in the years that I've been dating, women do seem to care a lot more about our achievements and our education and our accomplishments a lot more than and I don't want to say we don't care about theirs, but for them, it could be a deal maker or a deal breaker. But I got to be honest with you, for me, I've never once gone out on a date with a girl and said, yeah, she's a nurse, but I really wish she was a nurse practitioner. Oh, she's a sales rep, but she'd be a lot cooler if she's a sales manager. Now I have heard those things said the other way, but I've never myself, nor have I ever heard any other guy say that.
Okay, Johnny, let's bring up this next one because I found a profile I want to talk about and something to teach the nephews with tonight. Because Johnny,
Also, let's go Bucks.
This profile here has something in it we see quite often. Okay, we got Jessica here, 39. And Jessica has a bio.
Bless that bitch.
She says, I'm Jessie. I've been single for over a year from a 5-year relationship. I'm looking for long-term. No friends with benefits, no hookups.
Yeah, I hear that a lot on Bumble as well.
Okay, nephews, a profile tells you where somebody is starting, not exactly how every relationship will unfold. All right, no hookups, no friends with benefits. Let's talk about it, nephews. Let's clear something up because I see men fumble this constantly, maybe even every single day. You guys open Bumble and you see this right here. No hookups, no friends with benefits. And half the guys swipe left and the other half say she doesn't really mean that. Now, both groups are missing the lesson. So what I want you to understand is that when a woman writes this, no friends with benefits or hookups, she's communicating a boundary or basically an intention. She's telling
either that or when she hooks up with you on the very first date, she can come back with, well, I'd never do this, but
Johnny. She's telling you how she wants to be approached. And at that moment, what kind of dating experience she's looking for. The mature response isn't
assuming
to
she's
argue
truthful
with
here, yeah.
it. It's to respect it. Because here's the first lesson, nephew. Boundaries are information, and we know that information is valuable. So why would you ignore valuable information? All right. A lot of guys read no hookups as a challenge. I'll be the exception. That's the wrong mindset. Now you're trying to convince somebody instead of just getting to know them. All right. Or they become transactional.
That's when you're auditioning rather than choosing. Yes.
I've been texting her all week. Why isn't this moving faster? Nephews, people aren't vending machines. All right. You don't insert effort and expect intimacy to fall out. That's not how healthy relationships work. So now Johnny was mentioning earlier, we're going to talk about why does this change sometimes. And this is where men get confused. All right, bear with me here, nephews. Like sometimes a woman who said no friends with benefits, no hookups, ends up becoming intimate with somebody she's dating. And then guys say, see, she didn't mean that. No, not necessarily. What often changed wasn't the sentence on her profile. What changed to her was the relationship. Over time, She's learned more about him. She's observed him. She's felt emotionally safe. She's trusted him. She was physically attracted to him. And the key here, nephews, she was sexually attracted to him.
And by that point, she no longer has rules for herself.
Those things can exist together. And when attraction, trust, comfort, and timing, they all line up, that relationship, that physical relationship, it often develops naturally. All right. And that's different from a guy trying to negotiate past her stated boundary. And here's where a lot of you guys miss this part. All right. An emotionally secure, grounded man isn't spending his energy trying to change her mind. He's asking, are we aligned? He isn't chasing expectations. He isn't trying to prove himself. He isn't rushing intimacy because he's afraid she'll lose interest. His confidence comes from knowing he'll be okay either way.
Not to mention rushing intimacy in any way, shape, or form means that you're chasing her. You're chasing the approval, or you're chasing, the desire and things like that. And that's definitely going to put you on the receiving end of a hurting if you're doing it the wrong way, which most of you guys are.
Nephews, ironically, that emotional steadiness is often what's attractive to women. Not because it's a trick, because people generally respond well to someone who is calm, confident, respectful, and authentic. And here's the real lesson with this. Okay, please stop asking, how do I get her to break her rules for me? And start asking, what does she show me about herself? And what have I shown her about myself? That's a better question. Because here's what I want all of you to remember, Johnny. Just one more second here. We don't reward low information with high investment. We respect what women tell us. We observe what she showed us, and we let this thing develop at its own pace.
Yeah, the two of you don't add up to 100% together when it comes to effort. The two of you add up to 200%, 100 for you and 100 for her. If she's only giving you 25% effort, you are not going to be able to make up for that and get into that bedroom with her by giving up the other 75%. Or even if that's not what you're looking for, you're certainly not going to gain her approval or much less her commitment by rewarding 25% effort on her part with the other 75% on yours, thinking that somehow adds up. In that case, neither one of you is giving 100.
Okay, now Jessica's profile overall, I'm going to pass on this because it doesn't give us a lot of information.
Yeah.
And unlike the previous profile,
and I got to tell you that
there's nothing that lets me know I'm going to enjoy an hour of my time with this woman.
No.
So we're going to go ahead and pass on Jessica. Let me check out the next one. All right, nephews, call up. Our phone lines are open. Y'all have our number. Be part of the show. Ask questions.
Yeah, I'm with you, Forrest.
Challenge us. Challenge each other.
She has a lot in common with my cat. Her name's Jessica, middle-aged, kind of getting heavy. It happens.
Okay, so we're going to be on for at least 10, maybe 15 more minutes. We're going to try to do at least 2 more profiles.
Forrest ain't messing around tonight, man. He's already done with this one.
Oh, man. All right, big dog. I got to know why what you don't like about her. Okay, wrong body type for you. Okay, personal preference, no problem.
Well, he's talking about Shayna this time.
Okay. So why are you passing on Shayna? All right, chat. Hey, TikTok, I know you can't see these profiles, but you can go to my profile and join us live on YouTube.
Well, we got a main picture with an adult beverage in her hand, and Uncle Bill, one of your favorites. She is a nurse.
Okay, but here's also she's in an art gallery. She's in a museum. She's somewhere educated. So I'd really like to know why Pittsburgh Pirates is immediately pass on this one. I'm just confused, Johnny. I
don't know that. I might eventually say the same, but I haven't seen anything that gives me a reason to go left or right just yet.
All right, let's check this one out. About Shayna, gypsy soul, traveler, foodie, yogi, lover of wine.
Bless that bitch.
All right, so Forrest kind of has her nailed in that respect because that right there tells me, okay, we're a nurse. We travel alone. We probably travel for work. And I'm going to say that does end up equaling something. It may not be so conducive for if you're looking for a committed relationship as your end goal, but could definitely be a lot of fun if the two of you vibe together the right way.
She says, if I could eat one meal for the rest of my life, it would be, it looks like sushi.
I don't know. See, I like me some sushi. I don't know about every day.
Okay, so I'm going to swipe left on this, gentlemen.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
probably
I love the free spirit vibe. I love the whole traveling nurse thing. I really love the traveling nurse thing, when it comes to the fun part. But I mean, yeah, I think if you're looking, even if you're looking just for a hookup, if you're looking for something consistent, this is probably the girl you're going to get a call from or give a call to 2, 3, 4 times a month when she's in town. That's kind of the way I would approach it if I was even going to swipe right on here, but I'm going to say probably not.
Major Blaze says he can hear Shane, you're giving her opinions on life already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, see, I wasn't going to touch on that, but yeah, I got to say, that main picture with the glass of wine kind of has that, hey, look how cute I am, and I'm also smarter than you automatically. So I could see that, yeah.
I don't know, gentlemen. I like me a sophisticated woman.
I like a sophisticated woman too, but then we're combining that with that whole free spirit traveling nurse thing, and again, love it. But
Pittsburgh Pirates says alcoholic.
Maybe.
Hey, we really got the best chat, man. Look, I love y'all, chat. Y'all are my favorite.
Hey, maybe listen. If I was a surgery nurse, I would probably be partying hard whenever I'm not on duty as well. And I mean, there's probably some things she's seen that you don't get to unsee. And I don't think that's a deal maker or breaker, but I definitely think that if you're looking for somebody who would eventually be a consistent presence in your life, this girl might be it. But I mean, just maybe might.
All right, no, I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do one more profile tonight, Johnny, and then we'll get up out of here.
Man, did we get any right? We got one right swipe?
2.
We got 2. All right, dude. Hey, we'll kick a field goal at the buzzer here, maybe. Oh wait, they don't have buzzers in football. Yeah, my sports analogies are off. It's summer. I don't know what to do.
All right, look,
I know I'm checking out the Riverhounds. They got a home game this weekend. Come check it out in Pittsburgh. Good.
Here's what's taking so long, nephews. I've gotten 4 or 5 profiles, and we've already covered low effort profiles. So I don't want to share this and waste your time and mine when all she did was add a couple pictures from her camera roll.
Well, and see, this is a perfect example of look how pretty I am. Look how fun the background is. And that means that I don't have to say anything and again, she probably does have a full inbox full of guys. The difference between those guys and you young men is that you are not going to, like Uncle Bill said, you're not going to reward. You're not going to reward low effort with high effort. You're not going to see a couple of snapshots on her profile and be like the rest of the guys in her inbox starting off with something stupid like, hey, gorgeous, hey, girl, hey, whatever. If the first word of your thing to her is, hey, stop, close the app, turn your phone off and turn it back on. You should always power cycle your phone once a day anyway. Uncle Bill and I learned that back in the call center. And rethink that. And that's if you're going to inbox her at all, which, by the way, I would tell you to skip all those steps. And again, don't reward low and, let's face it, almost no effort with you in your inbox spouting fucking Shakespeare.
All right, Johnny, here's our last profile tonight. Let's
or Little
check
Wayne.
Out Kalani. Kalani says, hello, I'm here to find someone special to spend the rest of my life.
Bless that bitch.
Looking for something in the intent of marriage. Never married. Thankful and blessed for everything in life. Believe in staying humble. keep things simple and transparent. I will meet the one soon. Fingers crossed.
So is she dating with intention because she always dates with intention? Or is this maybe her seeing menopause on the horizon and saying, holy crap, I'm going to have to actually add some substance to this?
She says, I'm ready for someone true, honest, and supportive. And then we got send me a like if you are looking for something meaningful that leads to marriage. One more prompt.
Well, I mean,
Johnny.
and we're definitely putting out there that we're definitely putting out, commitment seeking energy with this profile.
Right. Well, she is talking about what she wants.
Yeah.
And I don't want to knock her for what she wants.
Not at all. Not at all. I definitely don't think it's for us, or at least not for me.
I don't know, John.
He says, yep, she is the horizon. Yeah, well, And listen, I'm not saying 36 is an old lady by a long shot, but I do think that there can be some cultures where getting married is sort of a familial pressure sort of thing, or in one direction or the other. I knew one girl from a foreign country who, their custom was to have arranged marriages. She moved to the States because she didn't want to do that and wanted to find somebody organically. So there was familial pressure. For her, it was more like, I want to make sure I find somebody because my family thinks that I'm making a poor decision. And then there's the other side of it where I want to do what makes my family happy, but I just can't see anybody that I like, and I want to be able to have a connection. Whatever it happens to be, I think that does happen. I'm not saying that's what's going on with Kalani here, but I do think that, it really, no matter what the reasoning is, and we say all the time, the why doesn't matter. This young lady is looking to start a family, and at 36, that clock's got to be ticking. It really has to be ticking for her. Now, me at 46, I'm not looking to get married, even if I hadn't been married. But I myself am happily divorced, and I'm going to go ahead and say that probably is not going to fly for me. At 46, I am not trying to have a child. That kid was born tomorrow. I'm going to be, applying for Social Security by graduation day.
Pittsburgh says she's ready married tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for real though. And listen, I'm not, like Uncle Bill said, I don't want to knock the girl for wanting to go ahead and get married, and make that an eventuality. Hey, that's great. It's just unfortunately not going to be an eventuality that would fit anything that I'm currently looking for. I won't speak for Uncle Bill, but I mean, definitely not something I'm looking for.
Nephews, before we get out of here tonight, I want to leave you with one final thought. Every decision that you make, it's an investment. Every swipe, every message, every first date you set up, every hour that you spend getting to know someone, you're investing something, your time. You're investing your attention, your emotions, you're investing energy, and eventually, sirs, your future. The question isn't whether you're investing. The question is, what are you investing in? Most men don't get hurt because they loved the wrong woman. They get hurt because they invested before they had enough information to make a good decision. They fell in love with potential. They chased chemistry instead of compatibility. They rewarded attraction before they ever observed if she even had character. And then they were surprised when reality didn't match the story they'd been telling themselves. Reality isn't
Not to mention
your
shocked
enemy.
and angry, yes.
Nephews, reality is your friend. Reality tells you who people are if you're willing to pay attention. And that's why I keep telling you, don't rush, observe, listen, watch. Shout out to Johnny Dumbbell, bottom liner actions. Patterns do not lie. People will always tell you who they are. Sometimes it's with their words, but it's always going to be with their actions. Yeah. And your job isn't to convince someone to be the right person. Your job is to recognize whether they are. That's judgment. That's emotional control. That is self-respect, sir. And that's what separates a man who's constantly reacting from a man who's intentionally building his life. So the next time you're looking at a profile, don't ask, how do I pull her? How do I get her? Ask, what information has she even given me? And what has she earned from me? Because information is what earns investment. Consistency earns trust. Character earns commitment. And everything else is just hope. Nephews, hope is not a strategy. Remember, we're not here to blame women. We're not here to criticize women. We're here because every interaction is an opportunity to sharpen our judgment and become better men. Women are just a perk of the job. The job is becoming a man whose standards are stronger than his loneliness, whose discipline is stronger than his impulses, whose judgment is stronger than his emotions. And that's the conqueror's code. And to everybody that participated tonight, everybody in the chat, everybody watching live, everybody catching the replay tomorrow, if you got something out of tonight, man, do your uncle a favor, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a man who needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep gathering information, nephews. Keep making better decisions and keep becoming the greatest man your bloodline has ever seen. Now go forth and conquer. John, you got anything you want to say before we wrap this up tonight?
First of all, I want to remind everybody to meet up with us and check us out this coming Monday night at 9:35. And the reason I want to make that point is because, on Monday nights, we talk about a wide variety of things. A lot of them do involve choices. As a matter of fact, most of them do. Thursday, even though the format is completely different, we are still talking about choices. Only I think that especially when it comes to things like this, we're delving more into the topic of the process of making said choice. And one of the choices that I think young men, especially young men who are anything like I used to be, are making a lot of their decisions not only emotionally, but, well, there's no nice way to put it, with the other head, okay? And the problem with that is that when you start thinking too heavily with that other head, you might think that you're a player, you might think that you're, whatever it happens to be. The fact of the matter is, you are out there trying to get the girl, which means you are out there auditioning, which means you are out there saying and doing whatever you got to do to make pretty girl like you, okay? And the thing of it is that you might do that in a way that you think is alpha. I don't even know what that means anymore. But the fact of the matter is that is not how it is. If you have to display it, if you have to say it, you're not. So cut that crap. Number one. Number two, you have a program. Like Uncle Bill said, that program is a roadmap for how your life is supposed to go in the next 1, 5, 10 years. Now, I'm not saying that it is up to her specifically, the girl directly across from you in this moment, to get a checklist of what you expect and make sure she ticks those boxes and, I got to do this. I got to do that. No. We also don't want her morphing herself to try to fit your program. We want you to find somebody who is just organically a good fit. But the thing of it is that you're going to have to be able to not only make good choices, you're going to need to have a good basis for making those choices. You are going to need to know how to vet, what to vet, and how to go about the procedure, saying it with your chest, moving forward, and settling for nothing less than what you're looking for. And again, if that means you got to hold out, and like I said to Forrest, if you got to be Brian Reynolds and keep fouling them off till you get something you like, keep fouling them off till you get something you like. And if that means that it's got to carry you from now until Monday, that's all fine and good. But here's the thing. We got a whole, 3.5 days, 71 hours, right? No, 95 hours before we're going to see you guys again. That is an awful lot of time for Jens to get in trouble in that. All right. Now, Uncle Bill, I know he's got his finances tied somewhere else, and I've got mine everywhere. We do not have bail money. Therefore, we ask that you keep the drugs and alcohol use to a minimum, if not eliminated altogether. But if you do drink, don't drive. And if you do drive, don't park. Because we all know accidents cause people, and that's going to be costly. See you Monday night. Good night.
Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless the real. We out.
Yeah.